Kevin, I was sat there a couple times in the past, now nearly 3 weeks, because it's been 18 days and 1 hour since we posted the top 10 greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. I was sat there thinking, is this the end for Elite Heat? And I don't know what was I don't know what was going to happen. There were a few days there where I was like, where is Kevin?
Right.
Kevin's gone missing, pal. It's like when Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't show up to Monday Night Raw. What's happened? What's going on? I got worried, and then you told me what was going on. I thought, okay, what we're going to do, if this all adds up, we're going to come in like with a bang. The day before WrestleMania or WrestleMania, we're going to come in, hit the ground running. We're not going to miss WrestleMania, damn it. I refuse to, no matter what real life circumstances happen, pal, which you'll get to in a minute, I refuse to let that distract us from WrestleMania, pal. We cover this content year round. I'm not missing WrestleMania effing 40 for nothing. So, Kevin, talk to us, pal. Let you talk to your pal. What's happening?
I'm trying to keep a straight face while you're doing that whole over dramatic intro. I love it. Yeah, so I guess I'll just go back to 2 weeks ago, almost 2 weeks ago, 11 days now, which was the Monday after last. We were going to record. It was like, for me, it was like 11:30 in the morning. We were going to record at noon. So what, like 4 a.m. for you?
Yeah. I was gonna wake up early. I was getting ready. I was, I set my alarm for 2 a.m. I woke up on 4 hours sleep, ready to record.
Yeah, so essentially, I had a long day planned on that Monday. I had a lot of things to get done. It's like, all right, I'm gonna come home, record right when I get home. So I get home at like 11:30. I'm trying to have a little lunch, pal. I walk in, I've got my bread, pal. I buy some bread, try to make a nice little sandwich, pal. And all of a sudden, this is like 20 minutes before we're supposed to record, literally. My mom and I just went at each other's throats. Like, I didn't do anything. I walk in the house and my mom got an attitude, and I'm like, "Hello, how are you?" And next thing you know, screaming and yelling follows, and I get thrown out of my house, basically. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Pretty nuts. Yeah, because I had a few people reach out to me and were like, "Look, what's going on? Like, where's your show? Like, I listen to this like every week. Like,
Right.
like what's happening?" And I was like, "Look, I'm not going to disclose this. Like, sort of what's happened here. I'll let Kevin explain once we're back. Because it's a bit personal.
Yeah, very
There, John.
personal. Yeah.
Very personal. But yeah, so at least as we can see now, there's a new setup for you. For
Yes.
those who are watching this on YouTube, the audio is just the only listeners on Spotify and all that. Just
Right.
get to hear us as normal. But for anyone watching on YouTube, Kevin's got a new setup here. This is a different arrangement. Looks pretty solid, pal. We don't no longer have what's the name, Joe, or the one in the background of the bartender.
Yeah, the bartender. I forgot his name. Bill.
Bill,
Yes.
Bill, yeah, the clown, the maggot Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a clear recording space now. That's empty for now, but we'll have some. It'll look good. So essentially, yeah, I'm like staying at my brother's house for a couple days. I'm just like, all right, like I'm not going back home,
Mm.
And then I thought this hiatus was gonna be a lot longer.
Yeah.
Because I was gonna have to find like a rental or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just lucked into like a really nice rental opportunity. Go ahead.
Pal, I'm gonna break the fourth wall here. When Kevin initially told me about the hiatus and we're not doing a late heat for this kind of this is going on, what have you. The initial time frame was, you said 6 weeks. I was like, oh my gosh, or 8 weeks. I'm like, this could be the end. Like, if we don't cover WrestleMania, like we start recording like sometime in May, I'm like, oh no. By then no one will listen to us anymore. But no, we're here for WrestleMania, pal. Everyone, pal, we'll let you finish off in a moment with all the final sort of details. What do you want to disclose with what's happening? There's a lot to go. There's a lot happening. There's Final Boss Rock.
Yes.
There's a WrestleMania with one of the most interesting builds I can ever remember. There's Pepsi Phil now, pal, on every week again. There's a million things happening. But before we get to that, is there anything else you want to disclose to our listeners, or is that about where things are at?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I got lucky. If I didn't get so lucky, I would probably still be in my brother's house where I would have nowhere to record. Wouldn't even have a bed. I'd be on the floor pretty much.
Well,
yeah. So essentially, well, here we are, pal, and that's it. That's pretty much it. I was like, I need 6 weeks, 8 weeks to find a place, but I ended up getting lucky. So
that's pal. That is a miracle on 34th Street
Yes.
fight. It's like Mick Foley in 2012 when he came out as Santa Claus, pal. It's a miracle.
Oh
You love
my
to say it.
god, yes, we love it.
Now, with this being said, let's just we've covered that. We've addressed the elephant in the room.
Yep.
Now let's talk about it. WrestleMania 40, pal. I started watching WrestleMania. My first one was WrestleMania 28. What was your first WrestleMania?
The first one that I remember watching, that like I have memory of watching, is probably,
Yes.
oof. I know I watched like WrestleMania 17 and 18. I don't remember that, but I remember watching WrestleMania 19. That was the first one I remember sitting there live, and I was like, I don't know, 7 years old or something.
Yeah. So, pal, that's 2003. For me, it was fairly similar. I was about 7, 8. For me, it was 2012. The first WrestleMania. Now we sit here. It's 2024.
Right.
We're a day away from who knows what this show could be. And that's really going to be the theme of what we'll get to over the course of this preview. This show could go a multitude of different ways. I'll just address this now. Paul Levesque has put a card together with in-ring performers and matches, which for the most part are fairly safe. Obviously, the main events will be the main events. They could be anything. But as far as the general cards, there's not too much room for failure here, I don't think.
Right.
In years past, as we all know, we don't need to go over match by match for the last 5 years. There's been a lot of stuff, not really so much at 39, but 38, 37, 36, 35, yada, yada, where the matches are so hit or miss, and they often miss. Cena versus Undertaker is a great example of something which could have been a hit, but was a big miss. That sort of business. Now we sit here, and I go up and down this card, pals. We're going to in the next hour or so. I'm like, pretty good. I think for WrestleMania, it's going to feel like a pretty big deal. I'll get to you, pal. Your general thoughts, where you're at. We're a day out now. Not so much match by match, but just where you're at. WrestleMania's tomorrow. What do you reckon?
This is probably the most hyped I've been for WrestleMania in, honestly, probably since the last one I went to, which was 33. And that was a whole different level of hype just because I was going. So, one that I was not attending, the last, I would say I was probably, WrestleMania 30, honestly. That's probably the most hyped I've been. So, yeah, about 10 years, really. 39 was good, don't get me wrong, 39 was good. I wasn't super hyped for it. I was hyped for 37 too. I actually went to 37, I should say that. I was hyped for that one just because I was going, but 36, empty arena, COVID. 35, 7.5 hours long, Charlotte Flair landing in a helicopter past midnight, okay, thanks for that. 34 was Roman versus Brock for the 75th time. And then we ran it back again 3 years later because The Rock couldn't bother showing up then when we needed him in 2021. But I digress.
Yeah.
Now we need The Rock. We really need him, to save us, pal, from the Vince McMahon allegations and the CM Punk injury. We got to have The Rock, pal. But I digress. He's saved his career now. Now he's going to go film a movie right after WrestleMania. Good for him. Bravo. Happy for him. 32. We don't have to discuss that. Wrestling Gifts with Superkick Studios. One of them made a video. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head. I think it was Wrestling Gifts made a video about WrestleMania 32.
Yes, I think.
Yeah, and it was he pretty much summed it up pretty well. A lot of injuries and whatnot. 31, the build was terrible. But WrestleMania was great. Great WrestleMania, what we got on TV, but the build was awful. Anyone tries to tell you differently, you just didn't live it. The build was terrible. But yeah, so it's been about 10 years since I've been this hyped for WrestleMania, pal. Go ahead.
That's the one I was going to compare. This has a lot of WrestleMania 30 to me in it. There's a lot of, obviously, CM Punk's involvement. I mean, yes, 10 years ago, it was the whole thing with his exit, and then they had the Raw in Chicago with Heyman coming out to Punk's music, and the crowd was white hot with the Yes Movement situation. And this year, it was Cody, and then now there's Hollywood Rock, pal, and they're doing a lot of sort of stuff where when you do the bios, when every YouTuber and their dog does their video retrospective of WrestleMania 40 when they have their documentaries about their show. There's going to be a lot to go over. There's going to be one of those shows where you think a lot happened. A lot was going on in WWE at the time. We've discussed this a few weeks back. How this show, WrestleMania 40, gets looked at in a few months' time after what will probably come out in court comes out and what allegations and laws or whatever. Who knows? That waits to be seen. What we do know is this, pal. We got 2 nights, decently loaded, all things considered. Yes, it would be ideal if CM Punk was competing. Yes, if Brock Lesnar was working, it would be great. Yeah, is what it is with some of these things. Yes, do we need a tag team match in night one's main event? We'll get to all this, but regardless, I'm pretty excited. I'm similar to you. Last year, I was interested. I was excited for WrestleMania, especially the day or two before, as you do, because it's WrestleMania. But I wasn't 2 weeks out going, oh my God, 13 days, 22 hours, 8 minutes. I didn't have a countdown clock till WrestleMania starts. I'm not like that this year. I'm not 10 out of 10 excited. I'm sold 7.5, 8 out of 10 for excitement. I think WWE done a pretty good job. We'll just cut to we're just going to cut to the big one here.
Let's do it.
Let's just talk about it. Everyone wants to know.
Yep.
I'm going to ask you before I say anything.
Okay.
People came in hot on you last time and the time before for your stance on The Rock.
Okay.
I'll let you can explain your position in the
moment.
moment.
Before you ask the question, I have not wavered. My stance has not changed.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Even after the beatdown in the rain.
Correct. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, interesting. Because essentially, as we all know, we've got this tag team match, night one's main event. It's The Rock, the Hollywood final boss, 2024 Renaissance Rock pal, teaming with his cousin Roman Reigns, the bloodline pal, with Paul Heyman and probably half the island of Samoa pal wearing black hoodies, taking on Cody Rhodes, who have Brandy in the front row. Pharaoh will get a dog admission into WrestleMania when no one else is allowed their dog in the stadium. You'll have Seth freaking Rollins, pal. This biggest tag team match ever, pal. Just let's just talk about that first. Where are you at? Thoughts?
I mean, okay, the match itself, I am intrigued in watching it. I'm intrigued. The reason why I have the stance that I have is this. I feel like in 5 years, right? 5-10 years, this match is gonna age poorly. This whole build up, this whole WrestleMania, it's gonna age poorly. It's fun right now because The Rock is so good. And yes, The Rock is good. Yes, every segment he does is great. Every promo he does is great. Whatever. I feel obliged to say that. I have to say that. But I think people are gonna look back at this and they're gonna be like, what was this WrestleMania? Just looking at it 10 years time, it's like The Rock was here. He wrestled his last match in a tag match. And then, who knows? Are we gonna get Rock versus Roman next year? Who knows? Maybe that'll be set up. Maybe it won't. That's really the hook here. Is what's gonna happen. That's the hook. Is the unpredictability, and that's something that we don't get in wrestling. So I'll compliment them for that. We never get unpredictability. Very rarely do we get unpredictability. And when we do get unpredictability, some people will be upset. And I'm not upset at that. I'm not upset at the unpredictable nature. I'm not really upset in general. It's just wrestling, but. I look at this match and I'm like, okay. Eventually the bell has to ring, right? All the great segments. Rock is beating up Cody. Yeah. Cody's crying, bleeding. Mama Rose with the weight belt. Eventually that bell has to ring and The Rock has to do something in the ring. And Roman has to do something in the ring. What is this match going to look like? Do these guys have chemistry? I know Seth Rollins and Cody could get a good match out of anyone. Seth Rollins has a bad knee. Cody's been working 1 million live events, pal. Cody's a workhorse. What are we gonna get from this? I don't know. Is it gonna be Roman roaring? And what are we gonna get? Roman and Rock jockeying for position, having a power struggle. Roman tags himself in, The Rock stares him down. What's gonna happen? I don't know.
I think this match goes 15 minutes. I think 10 minutes is The Rock and Roman taking turns beating up Seth Rollins. I think Cody's on the apron doing the classic, as if he was Cena during the tag team matches. Cena would work, where he's run down the apron. He's like, come on! He's turning the live crowd. Come on! And then you got the WrestleMania 40 crowd in Philadelphia. Yeah! Woo! Realistically, Roman's going to be on the apron talking trash. He's going to be looking down at the camera. WrestleMania's my show. It's my 8th main event. It's my 9th main event. This is my show, my WrestleMania. And The Rock's going to be like, I'm the final boss, bitch. And they're just going to be like beating up Seth Rollins. And like, I get what you're saying, totally. I don't know how this ages. Like, we've discussed this during the build to it, where we're just like, I mean, cool, but The Rock has to wrestle. And they mentioned it when The Rock came out. Well, the last couple times he's come out on TV for these great segments, The Rock hasn't wrestled. He hasn't worked a match in 8 years. I mean, that doesn't even count. That match at WrestleMania 32 where he rock bottomed Eric Rowan and pinned him.
I know.
That wasn't a match. He hasn't wrestled a match since WrestleMania 29 when his quad was his groin. One of them like popped.
Yeah.
Like he pulled it. And like 5 minutes into a 30-minute match, he tells the story about it in motivational speeches. That was in 2013. It's now 2024. All right. When The Rock wrestled that match, I was like, what? I was 10 years old, barely. I'm now a grown-ass man. I'm 21. I can drink everywhere in the world, pal. That's a long time ago. And as you say, pal, the match has to get into the ring. With what we've seen here, The Rock versus Cody Rhodes should be the match. That should be the night 1 match. It should be The Rock versus Cody Rhodes. Winner faces Roman Reigns night 2. That would fit the storyline more. The Rock being like, I'm the final boss, political chess, you know, like I insert myself into the match versus Roman Reigns, pal, as is what happened SmackDown after the Royal Rumble, pal, which we all freaked out about. Cody was like, actually, I won the Rumble, as I did. But we're gonna go one-on-one. WrestleMania, prove yourself, Rock, you old bitch. Can you actually wrestle a match, or are you just talk?
Well, he physically can't wrestle a one-on-one match. That's the only reason we're getting this tag team match.
And that's the thing in all this. If The Rock was actually, this is like Rock from 15 years ago, could like wrestle a 30-minute match. And it could be like, okay, he can do the segments of Mama Rose. He can do the Rock concerts, benching John Moran, the Guns. He can do all this stuff with Paul Heyman and the Bloodline and do all the great segments he's been doing and back it up in the ring. It's like, hell yeah. Like, this is just amazing. Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. But because he can't, because we know it's going to be Seth Rollins getting beat up for 10 minutes, Cody gets a hot tag, and most likely Seth Rollins gets pinned. And it's like, okay, cool. And then we're going to have just the bloodline. We'll have Alpha and a Y running out there on night 2, as we'll get to. But yeah, pal, I think general thoughts, like for this match, you've given your general opinion, but who wins, who takes the pin, and do you think The Rock's going to be any good in the match?
Well, okay, so as far as taking the pin goes, this is interesting, right? Yeah, you would assume that the baby faces are gonna win here. I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
No. Like some people are assuming that, like, oh, because Rollins, like, you know, you don't want, like, you would assume logically you don't want Rollins to lose twice in a row. You know, he takes the pin here and then loses to McIntyre. But then you can't have Cody lose. You know, you have Cody lose, and then what? He wins the belt the next night. Like that would be kind of silly.
I know.
And then like that, you know. But then we're working with The Rock here, where The Rock's like, I'm not losing, pal.
Yeah.
I own this place. I got to make a movie. I got to look strong. And that's the only reason why I'm here. And then Roman is the Universal Champion for like a million days, so he has to win too. Yeah. So everybody has to win. Could we get like a no finish? Could we get a DQ? Could we get something silly like that? Where like Solo Sikoa's here and he takes his hoodie off and he's like, "Oh, I'm Solo, hey," and everybody's like, "We know who you are, bro.
Yeah.
Why are you here in a hoodie?" And Solo just like beats up the referee or something, like Samoan spikes the referee. But I mean, okay, let's forget that. Whatever. Yeah. We know Cena and Stone Cold are gonna be there to combat the Samoans. Is Rikishi gonna be there? We're gonna get a Rikishi run in, pal.
Well, it depends which night they do. Because there's 2 nights of Roman Reigns bloodline shenanigans versus Cody with The Rock involved in both of it. I don't know which night's which. I don't know which one, whether night 1's going to be a fairly clean, just straight up tag match, and then The Rock and Roman just win and end the show, stand tall, like talking trash, being like, you know, flipping off Cody. You know, you're done tomorrow night, you're cooked, whatever. And like really, you know, really rubbing salt in the wound, pal, making it seem like Cody is a mountain to overcome. He can't do it, pal. There's no chance in hell. Like WrestleMania 40, night 1 ends. The Rock's got like the white belt. He's like, hey, here you go, Mama Rhodes. Here's his tears. Here's his blood. He took that L. Here's my cousin Roman. I pinned him tonight. He's going to pin him tomorrow. If they end it like that, I'm like, bro, what is this? But realistically, I want to see just Seth Rollins gets pinned and then they can really tease the commentary. Oh my God, tomorrow night there's going to be Samoans at ringside, in security, in commentary. Referee will be Samoan, pal. The camera crew will be Samoan. They're going to punch Cody on the way down to the ring. Like,
Well, did we get a Rock heel turn? Is that possible on night one? No, not even heel turn, but Rock. I guess it'd be a babyface turn if The Rock beats up Roman Reigns. Is that a babyface turn? Everybody's cheering. Oh, yes, he beat up the evil Samoan tribal chief.
well, the thing is, right, and I just got to call this, like I say, people, by and large, yes, there are the diehard devoted Indians who love Roman Reigns. Yes, there are like the 34-year-old women who just love Roman Reigns instead of their own husband. Yeah,
Wow.
they exist. But the general wrestling fan now is like, Roman Reigns, meh. Dude, what have you done for me lately? Like, do something. You're at the Royal Rumble. You were there for his fatal four-way match. You talked about this in the review. People were like, cool. Roman, nice entrance. I'll film it. Meh. Okay. Like, what has Roman done for us lately? So when it comes to this, yes, you got The Rock. He's like the real, like, oh my God, he's like the flavor of the month actor. Oh my God, what's The Rock doing? What's The Rock doing? Cody's the top babyface star. Roman's sort of just there to make up numbers on the poster and rack up his main event numbers. Seth Rollins is literally just there to be a body. He's there to be a WWE superstar to either work the match and take the pin. I think The Rock and Roman win night one, and we'll get to what happens night two. But yeah, interesting. Will The Rock perform well? I think The Rock will have limited in-ring action here. I don't think The Rock's actually going to do much.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it's just going to be him rest hold, talking trash. The Rock will have that arm with the tattoo he got like 5 years ago, headlocking Seth Rollins. Yeah, you little bitch. You little bitch. You talk trash to the final boss, you little bitch, huh? And you know, Roman Reigns. Yeah, you suck. I was the better Shield member. I beat you. Like, I'm the, oh, you ain't the architect. I'm the architect. They're just like, okay.
Yeah, and I just want to say this before we move on. Nothing about this build makes any sense. Like, I don't care that The Rock does these great segments breaking the fourth wall, posts them on Twitter, and he's like, you don't cut the camera. Keep the camera rolling. He's beating up Cody, trying to make it look like a shoot, pal. I don't care how good the segments are. It can't take away from the fact that this makes no sense at all. None of this makes any sense. Why is Seth Rollins here? Can WWE tell me that logically from a storyline perspective? No, they have not really told us why Seth Rollins is here. Seth Rollins wants to protect Cody and protect the world from Roman Reigns. You're the one that ended the Shield, bro. You're the snake. You broke up the Shield. You were in Triple H's pocket. None of it makes sense from a storyline perspective. Why is The Rock here? From a storyline perspective, can you tell me? From a storyline perspective, we know why he's here in real life. I've said it a million times already.
Yeah.
Why is he here from a storyline perspective? Can you answer that question for the great people that are watching this podcast right now? From a storyline point of view, from a kayfabe point of view.
Well, the last thing you can't, because as you've very well reported, and most people know listening to this, he's back because he thought, well, my acting career is not going that great at the moment. I need to do something. Oh, there's this Vince McMahon stuff. There's this turmoil. Oh, it's WrestleMania 40. I'll do the match with my cousin now. And he decided that 2 days after the Royal Rumble. And Brian Gurwitz was like, yeah, let's do it, pal. Put a line through Cody Rhodes' name. As far as on screen, I mean, I don't know. Look, a lot of what we've got, as you've said, it's been great content. It's been enjoyable. It's been entertaining. I've found great, at least. But big picture, when it comes to the why of it, yeah, there's a lot of question marks. I just hope, pal, come WrestleMania night. Yes, question marks aside. Yes, real life political chess, pal, final boss, politics, you know, the board member, TKO, Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, all this other business. That is just a total afterthought.
Yep.
And we got really fun. I mean, the night one main event, I don't think it's going to be that great, personally. I think it's going to be like a 3.5 star like mess.
Yeah.
I think the night two one is going to be a fun car crash. That's what I think it'll be.
Yeah.
We'll get to. Do you want to go straight into night two, pal, while we're on this?
No. Let's save that.
Okay.
Let's save the Cody Roman stuff. So I just want to finish talking from a storyline perspective about this tag team main event. Now, like, why is Roman here from a storyline perspective? Why is the Roman saying, I don't have to work? I work when I want. I don't need to do this match. You know, like, none of it makes sense. And just because The Rock is putting on good segments, people are like, yeah, this is gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. And that's another reason why I think this is gonna age poorly. Like, when you forget about how great The Rock segments were, because you're living it right now and you're feeling it every week, 5 years from now, you're gonna be like, what? Like, what was this? You know? And 10, 15 years later, whatever. I digress. But final predictions, I'll say I'll say The Rock and Roman win. It feels too easy to say Rollins eats the pin. I don't know what they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna
That's
get
what has
there.
to happen, though. This is the thing. Like, there is no other option. You cannot have Cody Rhodes get pinned the night before he's about to win the championship, have confetti, Steve Austin and Cena are holding their shoulders as the next guy. You can't have him get pinned here.
Right.
And obviously, you're not going to have Roman lose 2 nights in a row. That just physically will not happen. The Rock's not getting pinned.
Well, remember at WrestleMania 10, Brett lost clean, and then he won the title later on in the night.
And that was stupid as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if I don't know, this is one of those things. WWE, Paul Levesque, do the right thing here. Have Seth Rollins, the guy who, as I described, he's like the OnlyFans champion equivalent. There's no dignity, there's no pride, there's no respect him being here. He's just here for a paycheck because WWE, they needed a placeholder star.
Yeah.
He's been trashed the whole time in the build.
Yeah.
He's had only about one segment where he's legitimately stood up for himself and had a good performance. The rest of it, he's either delivered cringe lines or The Rock has just rinsed him and made him seem like a fifth-rate afterthought clown. So that being said, pal, anything else on that tag match? Or we'll move on.
Yeah, what I do think is going to happen is this. We'll see some shenanigan where The Rock is like screaming at the ref, like, count the pin, make a fast count or something. I'm your boss. You know, we'll get something like that, I'm sure. Like, you know, the rules will be bent and whatever. Or it'll be like something where, like, Roman barely beats one of them and everybody comes out strong. I don't think we'll get a definitive like squash thing where like we get a rock bottom, then a spear, and then a sweet chin music, and then a people's elbow, and then Rollins is there like a goof. Like, I don't think it's gonna be like a house show type of thing. I think it'll be like either a fudged ending or like a really dramatic, like, you know, oh, he barely lost, oh, valiant effort type thing.
Yeah, one of those things. Yeah, like there's like a spear and a rock bottom gets hit on Seth Rollins. Cody is being like bashed by like 8 Samoans at ringside. Cody like destroys all these Samoans himself, throws them to the ground. He's bleeding. He goes to dive in the ring to save Rollins after the Samoans put like 8 finishes on him. 1, 2, 3. Cody can't save him in time. I don't know. Whatever they do, I'm interested to say it. I'll be watching. I guess that's the main thing. So
yeah, there you go. All right, pal. Well, let's run through the rest of the card for night 1. So Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch.
Yes.
For the Women's World Championship. Good.
I wanted to talk about this match quite a bit. I'm sorry in case you wanted to go on a tangent there and discuss it for 20 minutes. Being at the Elimination Chamber, seeing Rhea Ripley and like that moment and like the performance she had. Yes, it was versus Nia Jax. But Nia Jax was legitimately a good heel in that match. I was so into that. Rhea Ripley's entrance live was amazing. The performance, the after the show where her music's blasting and you could hear it down the street in Burstwood, Western Australia. You could hear it for like 15 minutes after the show went off the air. Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch here. As we've discussed for a few months now, and before this match even came to be, literally back to like last year, this is the biggest women's match you can do right now. We'll be saying that in about a year's time, once you're having Jade Cargill versus Belair or Jade versus Rhea, or once you start doing those matches, we'll be saying that again then because those matches will be bigger then. But for now, Becky Lynch is the biggest female star as far as what she's actually produced and what she's done on the show. She's the biggest star of the last 5 years. From WrestleMania 35 to WrestleMania 40, she's done the most of any female wrestler in the world for the last 5 years on the biggest stage, WrestleMania main events, big-time segments, matches against all the big Trish, Lita, Charlotte, Sasha, like you name it. Becky's done it these last 5 years. She's the star. She's going to pass the torch here to Rhea Ripley. This match is going to be, I think, Rhea's. Yes, there was a match against Charlotte Flair last year where Charlotte Flair, per reports from Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair played political chess and said, nope, that doesn't work for me, pal. That match is going 10 minutes longer. That happened last year. This year, I think this goes 20 minutes, and this is Rhea Ripley's best match of her career. I think this match will be better than the Charlotte Flair match because Becky Lynch is better than Charlotte Flair. She's the better, more interesting talent to watch. It's more enjoyable to watch her wrestle. It's less cringe. You don't hear, she's the queen, John. She's the queen. Like, you don't have to hear that during the matches. I can't wait for this. On night 1, I think this match would probably be the match I'm most looking forward to on night 1. Probably the Rhea Ripley factor, plus the fact it's the biggest women's match you can do at the moment. So that's where I'm at on this. I'm quite excited for this match. Where do you sit, pal? What are your blistering, ruthless, confrontational, pulsating, rash inducing opinions, pal.
Wow, interesting. Very descriptive adjectives there. So I look at this and I'm like, okay, it's Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch. Great. I think this does have potential to be, and maybe the biggest women's match of all time. Honestly, at least from a WrestleMania perspective,
Yeah.
it has potential to have that aura to it. The only thing is, there's been a turn on Becky Lynch. I don't know how long this has been going on. I don't know if this has been going on for years and I just missed it. But people hate Becky Lynch now, all of a sudden, on the internet. Like all squares of the internet. You look at Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, people hate Becky Lynch. And a lot of people think she doesn't deserve this match. A lot of people think she's overrated. And I'm confused. I'm kind of lost by it. Like it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Like Becky Lynch, just the hate, it came out of nowhere. It seems like I thought everybody liked her and she was like one of the biggest stars in the company. Maybe it's because she's played like a backseat role for a little while and it's just kind of been working with younger talent and elevating them for the past like year and a half. I don't know. People forgot how great she is. The Bianca Belair thing for sure hurt her a lot with like a segment of the audience.
Yeah.
That definitely, and it's not really her doing. I don't think Becky Lynch told Vince McMahon, "Hey, I'm not coming back unless I squash Bianca Belair in 25 seconds." I mean, that whole thing was just, it did no good for anyone. Like Bianca ended up getting the title anyway and having the WrestleMania moment, so like none of it makes sense in the long run. But whatever, I digress on that. Rhea, and Becky should be a good match. I think it could be match of the night on night one.
Yeah.
It certainly could be.
And I think part of the Becky thing was that. I think the other part is like those deranged Liv Morgan fans who think Liv Morgan, all these other like these random talents who just don't deserve Becky's spot, should have Becky's spot. And it's like if Liv Morgan's in Becky's spot last 5 years, the women's division would be failing.
Yeah.
Like just no. We've been over that, but Liv Morgan is not that good. She's just a fine, just role-playing talent in the company. Anyway, this match is gonna be really good. I think this match or Gunther and Sami Zayn will be like the match of night one. I think people, when they look back on night one, could well be the better like in-ring night, so to speak, like when it comes to like the actual matches we get.
Yes.
But as far as the overall show, I don't know. We'll see.
And Rhea gets the win.
She very much has to, because it's one of those ones. Okay, Becky is champion, she wins, then what?
Right.
And we'll discuss that with Roman Reigns in like half an hour or whenever we get to it. But yeah, Becky Lynch has to lose here. She puts over Rhea Ripley. Becky Lynch and Rhea Ripley like hug in the ring. You got like the arms being raised. You got Rebecca Good sobbing. You got her like 3-year-old daughter in the front row clapping. It's just powerful, pal.
Wow. Yes. All right. So, let's talk about this tag team match. Let's get this one out the way. The Latino World Order, Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee versus Santos Escobar and Dirty Dominic Mysterio. Good.
Everyone wants your opinion on this. This was a match which, I mean, it's been building for ages. This is the match that spawned back 6 months ago when Santos Escobar, Rey Mysterio taken out. Santos Escobar's cutting that promo, wishing Rey Mysterio legitimate sepsis, amputation. That's how this started. Now we get to WrestleMania night. They've put Dom Mysterio back in a match with his dad, because I think that's like the only real spot you can have Dom in at WrestleMania now, it seems. Like Dom's just shoehorned in matches with his dad, pal. This being said, what do you think on this? Where are you at? Last year there was a lot of hype for Rey versus Dom. Where do you sit on this?
Well, the perception is that this match is just a match in the middle of the card that's here to elevate the rest of the card, be a good in-ring match that, keeps the flow going for the show. And that's, I mean, realistically, that's what it is. Could this be Rey Mysterio's last WrestleMania? And he wants to go out in a match with his son? Is that what's going on here? That seems like it. I think. I mean, Rey, he just had like, what was it, knee surgery, right? Or ankle surgery, whatever it was. And he's like 50 years old now. Mm-hmm. How much longer does he have realistically? Then, this is something that AEW would do. And if AEW did it, we would be talking a lot of smack about it. So I'm going to be fair here. I don't think this is a good use for anyone involved. Like, to elevate anyone. I don't think this match does anything for anyone involved. If it's Rey's last match and we get a tearful goodbye and maybe Dominic breaks character and hugs his dad, or we go the other way, Rey's celebrating, crying with his daughter, and Dominic just backslaps him, screams at his mom, and we get that, like, that's cool. But this reminds me of like a Sting match in AEW. Like you've got Darby Allin like being held down essentially to elevate Sting, and Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, Dominic Mysterio. I mean, particularly Dominic Mysterio could be a big star. Like we would have thought he would have been doing something different. I thought at least at WrestleMania 40, I thought he would have been at a different level. We were talking Money in the Bank after WrestleMania for him, and like big SummerSlam matches, a potential favorite for the Royal Rumble, and this was all after what happened at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
and we've seen it play out. I mean, he was the hottest heel in the company. Surely they could be doing something better with him. I don't know. Like, this is a match just to get Rey Mysterio on the show?
I mean, yes, and nothing you said there was like wrong. I think and I mean, yeah, I like that you are fair in that regard. Like, if once again, if AEW did something like this, we would be a bit like, with that. From just purely just Rey Mysterio's perspective, like Rey Mysterio, like the person behind the mask, there's no match. If I was Rey, I'd rather be a part of like my last match. Like this was like Rey's farewell. It's WrestleMania 40, so you're not getting a bigger stage for at least 10 years to WrestleMania 50. It's the biggest WrestleMania in a long time. You've got your son in there, so you're wrestling against your son. You've got probably the next star lucha of the lucha division being Dragon Lee as your tag team partner. The next like face star luchador who for the next like 10 years in WWE, and you got Santos Escobar, who's just like the heel villain, all that. So from who he's working with, the stage, the setting, I'm sure Ray will have another great entrance. Last year was Snoop Dogg and the Low Rider, and then they had the Eddie stuff. It was so well done last year. One of the great entrances in WrestleMania history last year was Rey Mysterio. I don't expect an entrance that good this year, but look, as long as they don't have Cinnamon Toast Crunch on every little thing around ringside this year, that ruined Ray vs. Dom last year, can I just say?
Yes.
Everything that Ray vs. Dom build was the best build going to WrestleMania 39. It was so good. And then you had stupid Cinnamon Toast Crunch ads all over ringside, pictures of Cinnamon Toast Crunch boxes dancing at ringside. Is that what we need for Rey Mysterio and Dominic's blood feud? Dom Mysterio, what he was saying would get him murdered in any Latino household. And you had Cinnamon Toast Crunch boxes with these rainbow colors shimmying at ringside. Not on WWE. Paul Levesque, Nick Khan, keep that away from this, pal. Anyway.
Hold on. I got to say one more thing.
Yep.
So, you didn't think I was going to end this point without burying AEW.
Oh.
I was fair, pal. But we have to keep in mind, if this was AEW, the whole show would be built around this match. And sending off Rey Mysterio. So, under the WWE umbrella, having a nice send-off for Rey Mysterio. Hey, goodbye, Rey. And Dominic beats up his dad as he's retiring, hugging his daughter, his wife, his family. Conan's there. Dom slaps Conan. That's happening on the middle of the card, and it's not being built around the biggest show of the year. So, there you go.
Pal, it's because WWE has actual main event talent and people you can actually build shows around and sell events with.
Can we do like 15 minutes? I don't know, maybe not 15, but like 5 minutes on AEW at the end of this. But go ahead.
Yes, happily. But for now, I want to move. I want to talk about this 6-pack ladder match, this giant tag team match. Pal, your face when I said that looked like you're like, do we have to? There's a lot going on in this match. There's a lot of intermoving pieces.
Yep.
There's a lot of how you're going in this. I'll just read who's involved, and then we'll get your blunt opinion. You got the Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest, the same act who I said in the Elimination Chamber review, if Dom Mysterio wasn't associated with them, I wouldn't have even watched their match. I don't care. So you got those guys. Damian Priest is Mr. Money in the Bank still. Keep that in mind. This is the guy who should be running around involved in the main event. Anyway, whatever. You got them facing DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. Shout out 2018 NXT there. So they're involved. The Awesome Truth is involved in this match. Is this 2011 again? Am I waking up for the 5th grade, pal? Is this me? Like, pal, for me, I'm just side tangent here. This Awesome Truth thing, I get it. Our Truth is entertaining. You can't hate Our Truth. I don't hate it. No one hates Our Truth.
No.
But WTF, excuse me? Like, I'm watching Our Truth and The Miz in 2024. And this is supposed to be a nostalgia act for people my age, for 20-year-olds who are watching when they were 7 in 2011, watching Our Truth and The Miz with the Miz in that skin tight white shirt where you can see his pecs popping out, beating up Alberto Del Rio, Phil Brooks, and John Cena, and referee Scott Armstrong, and then being arrested as Paul Levesque jumps on, mounts a defense as R-Truth, hitting shoot elbow strikes at the end of Hell in a Cell 2011. That's a throwback to this. The only reason Awesome Truth is a tag team is because they want people my age to be like, oh, I remember that. That was amazing. No, it wasn't. That nearly turned me off watching. Anyway, Awesome Truth. Then you got The New Day. Shout out The New Day. A-Town Down, Austin Theory and Grayson Waller, pal. That whole tag team, that group has ruined Grayson Waller. Then you got the New Catch Republic, pal. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. The match could well be match of the night when you think of what it's going to be. It's going to be a car crash circus. You got 12 guys there to like ruin their bodies for the sake of having a memorable WrestleMania spot that's going to go viral on X. Look, thoughts?
I let out a heavy sigh because of Damian Priest. Like, that's the one reason. Like, I was so hyped when he won Money in the Bank. I was drinking rum, celebrating, thinking we're going to have a Puerto Rican-born WWE champion, and, I mean, here we are. He's in the middle of the card in a six-pack challenge match. I was a little disappointed by that. The match itself would be good. I'm curious to know your thoughts on A-Town Down Under. That's another one. Yeah, that's. I don't even think you have to give us your thoughts on that. I already know how you feel.
Well, it's similar to your thoughts on Priest. Obviously not to the same level because I didn't think, oh my god, Grayson Waller needs to win he's missed me on money, they win the world title. Obviously not to the same level, but it's the sort of thing of like, I know Grayson Waller. I'm not saying he should be world champion, but I mean, yeah, you know, but like in Australia, I know it's in Australia. It's where he's from. I get it. Grayson Waller's he's Australian. I get it. He was so over. Like, we loved him. It was amazing. And now he's just thrown into this. Essentially, and Damian Priest shouldn't be in this match. Damian Priest is a star level above everyone else in this match.
Yes.
Let's just call this like it is. Damian Priest, or as those guys in the row behind me at the Elimination Chamber said, the bisexual Undertaker. Damian Priest is someone looks at him and goes, just that's someone. Damian Priest, when he walks around an airport, it's like, oh my God. The rest of these 11 wrestlers, when they're walking through the airport, you're not going to really look sideways. The Miz walks through the airport, I'm not even looking at him. Okay. Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, nice guys, great wrestlers. They can work, strong style, power. They have great 40-minute matches in Ireland, good. But this at WrestleMania, Damian Priest is above this. That's my main takeaway from the star power point of view. You've got the 45-year-old Miz in here. You've got R-Truth at 52. You've got all these other wrestlers. You know, Austin Theory's involved in this. The New Day, they've been a legendary act. The New Day won the couple of greatest tag teams ever for WWE. There's 2024. The fact of the matter is, I mean, who wins? Let's just boil it down to this. Who wins this match, pal?
Probably New Catch Republic. If I had to make a pick, I mean, they're Triple H's guys. This seems like a Triple H move. Have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate win it. I mean, they're new blood. I mean, Miz and R-Truth, from an entertainment perspective, that'd be kind of funny. Have them win the belts and do some funny stuff for the summer. Like, I'm not against that either. You know, if the Miz is not in a main event scene, I'm okay with whatever he does. Like, him and R-Truth, like, running around doing stupid segments, I'm down with that. So either one of those two.
Yeah, you know, honestly, I mean, any of the 6 teams could win. Well, Theory and Waller won't win. I just objectively put a line through them. Judgment Day, like, I don't know who wins. Whoever wins, cool. I'm not losing sleep over whoever wins this match either way. It's going to be a 15, 20-minute car crash with ladders. This will be like TLC 2, just on steroids and nowhere near as good with nowhere near as good talent. So that being said, pal.
Wow.
Do you want to move on to another match, pal?
Yeah, wow, that was scaly the way you said that. Yeah, let's talk Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi versus Damage Control. So I haven't been paying too much attention for obvious reasons to the day-to-day, week-to-week build on everything that's going on. So I'm not too familiar with how we got to this point. But what I do know, what I can speak on is this. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill sharing a ring, that's money. That's money. Like, can we get some friction? Can we set up a match between the two at some point? Start printing money, pal, if they do that. Yeah.
I don't have too much to say on this. This match and the whole thing about this is the visual of, like, essentially like the Black Power visual of what they did on SmackDown, where you had Naomi You had Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, especially for Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, particularly because of how physically impressive they are. Them just standing next to each other, all pointing to the WrestleMania sign.
Yeah, that was
This
awesome.
is a spectacle thing. This is something which you can put on and you can like market this for years. This is our WrestleMania, 80,000 people. These three, women of color who are all like incredibly impressive and powerful. And this is like a match for, I guess, representation and inspiration. That's what this is for. They're going to beat Damage Control here. Dakota Kai is going to get pinned, and it's going to be a fun, like 8-10 minute showcase. This will be probably better than last year's 6-woman thrown together Damage Control match where you had Becky Lynch out there, and it was like third on the card, and it was like whatever. This will be better, I think. It's going to be more impressive because you're going to go, oh my God, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. They're going to tease some friction, I think. Have Naomi involved, and this will be fun. Like, I think when this comes on, I'll be interested. I'll be watching. I'll look forward to it. So, yeah, I look forward to this match. Should be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, Jade Cargill made her debut a few weeks back on SmackDown. They were like, oh, Jade Cargill's here. And the marketing of her has been incredible. They've been presenting her as a star. WWE, they've been working triple time trying to make up for all the what's the word? The knowledge she didn't gain in AEW. So WWE's training her properly. So I think Jade Cargill will be ready. I think this match is going to be, this could be the most talked about match aside from the main event on night one. It wouldn't surprise me if like people are going crazy, gushing over this. Get some insane spots. Like Jade Cargill picks up Dakota Kai and Kairi Sane at the same time and presses them or something. Like, we're gonna get some cool stuff here. This is a sneaky good match. It could be one of the better matches of the night.
Well, there are 2 matches on night one which are gonna get publicity on ESPN, SportsCenter,
This is one of them,
TMZ. This is one of them.
Yeah.
Like the visual of these 3 strong, powerful, role model black women all standing there, like, hitting their big power moves and winning at WrestleMania. And like, this is one of those things which, I mean, kudos where it's due to WWE here. This is all in the presentation. This is something where if 15 years ago, this wouldn't have even been conceived. When we've got Lay Cool running out there with Natalya, as WWE has their casting couch backstage for women to get a spot on the show. It was, I was trying to say that, pal. Maybe not. But allegedly.
Allegedly, yes. That's all alleged. That is all alleged.
Until we get 2 months down the line.
According to reports that were written by journalists, that are professional journalists that are published on the internet. We are not making up anything here, pal.
I know. This is all, like, go and accuse the journalists of these things before you get to us. We're just reporting on this stuff. Anyway, when it was 15 years ago and you had the casting couches, things are a bit different. Now you've got these superstars who are getting legitimate, big-time publicity. Jade Cargill will have her own tour bus in 2 years.
Pal, I just want to ask you a question. Well, we're on the topic of these allegations. I'm sorry. I believe it was the last time The Rock wrestled, right? Was when P. Diddy performed live at WrestleMania.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I bet that WrestleMania after party was a wild one.
Oh, my God. Yeah. And shout out, that was a great WrestleMania theme song. Not a great WrestleMania 29, but a great theme song. Anyway, this being said, pal, one more thing on this. I've got to take a cheap shot at AEW. Compare Jade Cargill's presentation in WWE to Adam Copeland, the guy who blocked you on Twitter in AEW. One feels like the biggest deal in the world. It's like, oh my God, every appearance, you're like, wow. Adam Copeland comes out, and it's like,
I'm gonna save what I have to say about Adam Copeland for the end when we do our AEW minute, because I'm gonna take the gloves off again, pal. Take the gloves off, part 3 on Adam Copeland.
Adam Copeland did the usual, and AEW has a guy do this every 2 weeks. We got to appreciate professional wrestling. I love pro. We all love the usual.
Save it, pal. Save it. I want to talk about this.
We should be grateful we're here, promo. Yeah, shut up, Adam. Anyway, that being said, let's move on. Gunther, Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Intercontinental Championship, Kevin. This is the match which Paul Levesque 5 years ago, when he sat there, he's got his NXT Booker hat on. He's appealing to that smart mark audience, that internet audience, to try and take shine away from New Japan and Tony Khan, and he's trying to get them back on side when he eventually takes over so he can have a devoted fan base for him. When Triple H purposely was doing that, he wrote down Gunther, Sami Zayn, WrestleMania. Or he probably wrote down Walter, Sami Zayn, WrestleMania. And now it's Gunther. And here we are today. This match will get 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah.
This could well be the best Intercontinental Championship match since last year, pal. This could well be outside of last year, the best Intercontinental Championship match in decades. We'll see. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Well, let's address the elephant. We know this was supposed to be Brock Lesnar versus Gunther. And I assume that's why we got the weird build that we got, where it was like, oh, Gunther doesn't have a match. Like, when did they announce this? 2 weeks out? 3 weeks out?
Well, they did the gauntlet match. You had Gable was in it, and then Sami Zayn was in it.
That was like
Sami
3
Zayn
weeks
won,
ago?
and yeah, about 3 weeks ago. A bunch of Twitter were like, oh, F this. Gable was robbed. Make it a triple threat, whatever. Anyway.
Right, so like Gunther, pretty much all he did on the build to WrestleMania was like come out and bury like Miz on the mic and Gable and like other wrestlers. So like
he hasn't mentioned the Miz in Survivor Series. What do you mean?
My memory's not working right now. But he did bury Gable though. Yeah. Am I correct? He did.
Yeah. Gunther's basically his whole bit's just like, look, I'm the IC champion. No one beats me. I'm really good. Like I've beaten you, Gable, like 3 times. Sammy, you lose every match you're in. Why should I be afraid? I'm Gunther. Anyway.
Well, either way, my point being, what I was saying is that WWE probably took the approach they did building this match because they were holding out if maybe they could get Brock back in time for WrestleMania. Like it doesn't make it doesn't make sense any other way. Like why they didn't build, like why this match didn't get a good build. You know, it didn't have a personal feud or anything going for it. But this match would be great. It doesn't really need a big storyline going in. This would be a standout match from the show. And do you think Sammy wins? Do you think Sammy's the guy that ends Gunther's reign? Like I don't know who it could be. I mean, eventually they have to do it. Like but like Gunther's gonna hold the Intercontinental title forever. Like it's like Jokic's MVP trophies. Like he's just like I'm Intercontinental champion, bro. I'm the best.
Literally, tell me about it. Look. Anyway, I'm not even going to there. Regarding this, look, Sammy at a WrestleMania. Doing like the big, similar to those who watched Tyler Bate and Walter from TakeOver Cardiff, I think it was like 5 years ago. A similar match to that. This like underdog overcomes do that. That'll be really good. Or just have Gunther win, just keep holding the title. Same thing as Jokic, the MVPs. Just give it to him, I guess. Even though shouldn't have, whatever. We'll get it anyway. So yeah, I think Gunther wins. Honestly, it's one of those ones. We thought McIntyre would win the IC title at SummerSlam last year. Thank God he didn't in hindsight. We thought Gable would win it in one of those matches they did last, like September, October. Didn't happen. This seems logical, but Gunther probably retains, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's the way to go. And then the last match, right? This is the last one. Jay versus Jimmy. Yeah, this will probably be the opener, I assume. I think this is the best way to open with the whole crowd going like, yeet, yeet. Yeah, Jay's here, pal. Jay Uso's here. They have to be ready to be involved in the tag team match, so get them out there as early as possible, so then maybe they could come out in hoodies and the commentators could be like, oh my god, it's Jay and Jimmy, we haven't seen them in 3 hours, I didn't know they worked here.
You know how like when the wrestler comes out of hoodie, it's like a shock return. We haven't seen this wrestler in years, John. We haven't seen them since 2019. But with this, we haven't seen Jimmy Uso since 7:30 p.m., John. Like, what is this? Anyway, the match will be fine. Like, will this be better than Jeff versus Matt Hardy from 25? Yes. Will be better than Brett versus Owen? No. It'll be somewhere in the middle. It'll be a fine to good match. I don't know. Like, I'm not personally that interested in this match. This is one of those matches. Get to the show. These guys will probably surprise me and produce something really good. Right now, though,
Oh, the match would be great. Yeah, I mean, Jay is bringing Lil Wayne. Lil Wayne's gonna be in Jay's corner. That's incredible, pal. You got the whole hip hop community is gonna be there, pal. Meek Mill, maybe. Who knows? Meek Mill might be there. It's gonna be crazy. WWE is definitely, they're definitely turning a corner when it comes to their celebrities and their musical guests. They're a little bit more in touch now with what's going on. Like we're not just getting Flo Rida coming out there and MGK for no reason whatsoever. Like we're getting celebrities that actually matter. So shout out to Triple H and Nick Khan for that. That's it for me.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
Just build on before you finish your point there, and you touched on this. That visual to open WrestleMania of Jey Uso they're gonna have the whole stadium shot. WWE Productions gonna be on the ball with this whole stadium shot. Like there's 80,000 people doing that.
Pat McAfee on the commentary table going crazy.
Oh, it's gonna be and Michael Cole, Pat's yeet is Jay, and Jimmy Uso's gonna be in the ring looking around like the confused heel. What is this? 80,000 people are doing my babyface brothers entrance thing, Anyway.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, wait, we have to get ready to come out in hoodies for 2.5 hours later to interfere in the tag match. Yeah, so for me, I think Jimmy's gonna win this. It just makes sense to have the heel win.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, unless we get Lil Wayne out here with the chair hitting Jimmy Uso, who knows what's gonna happen there? But yeah, Jimmy wins, and let's talk night 2, pal. Are you ready?
Yes, that's night 1. Let's just jump to night 2.
Yes.
6 matches are down on here. We'll just go through the 6. Let's just get to the one which I guess has the least, buzz at the moment. The 6-man tag team Philadelphia Street Fight. You've got Lashley, Dawkins, Montez Ford, aka the Pride. Interesting name. And then you've got the Final Testament, pal. Cross, Ackerman, Razor.
Wow.
Look, on paper, in real life, could be awesome. This is one of those matches where you've got some good talent involved. They could do some crazy things which make you go, oh, wow.
Right.
I think this match, to me, screams Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Showcase from last year. On paper, going in, okay, yeah, filler, ? Come the show, that was pretty good. I enjoyed that. I think that's what this will be. That's my optimistic opinion. Some people are looking at this going, this sucks. Why is this here? Boring. Do this on SmackDown. I understand people from that perspective. For me, though, obviously you need matches. I know Roman and Cody, as we can get to, is going to go like an hour by the time you do entrances, the crying, celebrations, confetti, a 35-minute match interference. I get it, but you need some stuff to fill up the card. So, yeah, this match, who wins? I legitimately don't care who wins. This match is just here. Kevin, if the Pride win, if the Final Testament win, I'm not going to walk into work on Tuesday mornings. I might be taking Monday off to watch night 2 of WrestleMania. I'm not going to walk in on Tuesday morning like, oh my God, I can't function. The Final Testament lost to the Pride. But anyway, pal, what are your thoughts?
Wow, that was interesting. I mean, the Authors of Pain and Karrion Kross, that screams like 2018 NXT. Like, cool, okay. I'm not really interested in either of those 3. I didn't really like AOP at the time. Never really liked Karrion Kross. Never got it with him. Montez Ford he might go down. Like, I'm not trying to be exaggerant when I say this. He might go down as one of, if not the most wasted talent ever. I mean, that guy is a star. He's on a reality show with one of the biggest female stars in the company, and they can't do anything with him. He looks like a star. He talks like a star. He carries himself like a star. He's great in the ring. I don't understand. Like, what more does this guy got to do to get an opportunity?
Look, look, realistically, and I know people will be like, well, no. Montez Ford should be in either the IC title or the US title match.
Yeah.
Like, at this WrestleMania, it should be either Montez Ford versus Gunther or Montez Ford versus Logan Paul.
I couldn't agree more.
Like, this is the time. Montez Ford is he's a guy who's going to be here for 5-10 years. This is your big WrestleMania. This is your time to really establish him. Instead, he'll just do his nice little frog splashes. He'll get his hot tag. He'll jump around a little bit. Second on the show on night 2. A match. No one's going to talk about this match after it happens. Right. This will be a match. It happens on the show. We move on. As soon as it's over, we're not thinking about it again.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a letdown. Yeah, whatever. But nonetheless.
And probably Triple H's NXT guys will get the win. And yeah, I'm ready to move on, pal.
Yeah, let's just, pal. I honestly, yeah. Let's just move on. I want to talk about this. LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Home invasions are back, pal.
I know.
It's 2009. You're waking up for the 3rd grade, pal.
Oh my God.
Pal, no, the home invasions are back, pal. You love to see it. You've got LA Knight invading AJ Styles. I love that as well. Can I just say, we didn't address that in any of our podcasts. That was effing amazing. I loved it.
It was.
That was so cool. That's the sort of stuff I want that in wrestling. And it's great they're doing that sort of thing. That's something which, if I was writing the show, those are the angles I'd be doing.
Well,
fun, in your face, over the top, gets real buzz on all the social medias, makes the rounds. LA Knight invades AJ Styles' home. This feels personal. This is one of those matches which 6 weeks ago, when they just said, oh, LA Knight's facing AJ Styles, it's like, oh, okay, sure. Okay, that's happening. But now, because of how they built this, I'm a bit like, oh, damn, okay. I'm interested to see this. People saying LA Knight's being wasted here. He's facing AJ Styles at WrestleMania. Dickhead. How's that wasting anything? AJ Styles, he's facing like one more over guys in the company at WrestleMania in a singles match. That's not a waste of AJ Styles either. It's a good use of both of them, I think. I just hope the match doesn't go too long. This match doesn't need to be 20 minutes. This can be 12.
Yeah, I agree. Home invasions never left, pal. Are you forgetting when Seth Rollins invaded Edge's house? Or when Samoa Joe invaded AJ Styles' house and was like, Wendy, daddy's home. You're forgetting this, pal.
That was a different era.
Uh-huh.
That was a time with a dark grey cloud over the creative of the WWE with that evil guy who chose Drew McIntyre to be the chosen one, who Drew can't say his name on Raw.
That was so good. That was great. When Punk said that was iconic.
That was excellent. Anyway.
So this match is good. The build is really good. I mean, really good build. The match can't possibly live up to the build. Just can't. Yeah. There's no stakes. Yeah. Like, there's no stakes. They're just wrestling because they have nothing else to do. Triple H is like, oh, here, throw these two guys together, pal. LA Knight gets the win. We get a big babyface celebration. We get a lot of people saying, yeah. And that's all this needs to be. This is like a gatekeepers match. If LA Knight does well against AJ Styles here, then LA Knight will continue to soar through the mid card, the upper mid card, into the top of the card.
That sounds so condescending. I love it. All right, yeah, I picked the same thing. LA Knight wins. Do you want to discuss?
I want to talk Logan. I want to talk Logan Paul versus Randy Orton versus Kevin Owens.
Yep.
Why is this not a one-on-one match? Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. I don't get it. Yeah. Like, why is Kevin Owens here? I'm so over the Kevin Owens Logan Paul thing. I saw it 3 months ago at the Royal Rumble. I don't care. I don't. Okay, Kevin Owens has funny one-liners. Great. Good. I'm glad that he has funny one-liners. Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, that's a star. That's like a star versus star. That's a legacy building match for Logan Paul. As a triple threat match, this becomes a match that people are just going to forget about. It just is what it is with multi-man matches. They're fun in the moment, and then people forget about them. One-on-one, this could have been presented and built as a building block of the show, especially night 2. Like, oh, Logan Paul versus Randy Orton is in the middle of the card? Wow. That's a big match. As a triple threat, it's like, I have some theories here. It's probably maybe because Randy Orton is not okay physically. I know some people are like, oh, he's selling. I mean, he must be the best seller ever to make the pain look that real. That he was doing an Elimination Chamber and every other match he has. Like, he must be the best seller ever because he makes it look so more realistic than anyone I've ever seen. I think I mean, that could be it. The conspiracy theorist to me is like Randy Orton really can't go like 15 minutes in a one-on-one match anymore. I don't know.
Look, the fact of the matter is, I mean, at the Elimination Chamber press conference during his promos, Randy Orton's like, "Oh I feel in the best shape I've been in 15, 10 years or 15 years, whatever." Maybe for like the aesthetics in the gym, how jacked you look, yes, but clearly that's not the case for when he's in the ring. Clearly, when he's had a year and a half off of the back surgery, that there's nagging issues there. Like something as major as Orton just had doesn't just like snap your fingers, boom. He's in perfect condition now. He's 22 all over again, pal. Not how it works. That's not how the human body works. Anyway, my opinion here, I agree. This should be Logan Paul versus Randy Orton. That should be the match you market to everywhere. You got Logan Paul, one of the biggest stars in the world, versus Randy Orton, one of the wrestlers who everyone knows. That should be what this is. I think Kevin Owens, I agree with you. We've seen Kevin Owens, Logan Paul. We know they don't like each other. Logan Paul beats him. Cool. What they should be doing, my opinion, Kevin Owens gets taken out of this, and Kevin Owens is not inserted into the Gunther Sami Zayn match in a triple threat, not like that, but Kevin Owens is there like back up Sami Zayn.
Yes.
Do the Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes thing, but actually have it make more sense. Have Kevin Owens be like, Sami, obviously we've known each other our whole life. Everyone knows that. We've wrestled each other. We've been tag partners. We were on the titles last year at WrestleMania. I want you to beat Gunther, end this miserable reign of Gunther as champion, beat him. I'm going to make sure that Tiffany Stratton's boyfriend doesn't run in, Ludwig Kaiser, that clown. I'm going to make sure he has no involvement. Get Chad Gable involved. Make sure Gable's not involved. I'm going to keep this match. I'm going to make sure, Sami, this is your moment. And Sami can beat Gunther clean. Instead, Owens is in this. I don't know. Maybe that's just me revisionist booking and it wouldn't be as good. I don't know. I'm not that into this match. But anyway.
Yeah. I guess Logan Paul wins, and then he has a big match at SummerSlam, presumably in his hometown in Cleveland.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really see Orton or Kevin Owens winning here, and if they did, what would the purpose be?
Yeah. Don't know, pal. I don't know. Anyway, so that being said, pal, that's that match. Now let's move on. We get to like the 3 big matches. Let's start with the women. Io Sky defends the women's WWE Women's Championship, pal, not the SmackDown Women's title, the WWE Women's Championship against Bayley.
Yep.
This match wasn't good enough to get a press conference spot at the Elimination Chamber press conference. That being said, the build's been solid.
Yeah.
As far as on SmackDown, they've been doing the storyline. Oh, do they have, Bayley's back? Who has Bayley's back? Bianca Belair, this. And there's been a lot going on with this. It gets down to the ring. This is really what this match is. This is one of those matches, just get it in the ring, let them do their thing. That's sort of what Triple H has, got at the moment with some of these talents. This is no exception. Where do you sit on this match? I think this match will be 4 stars. Bayley wins. We're done. I think that's the. I don't look at this and think 5-star classic. Watch it on DVDs for the next 5 years. I don't look at this and think it's going to be bad. I think it's going to be a 4-star, pretty good match. Bayley gets a moment. Clap, 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 clap. Now it's Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Let's watch Drew McIntyre. That's what I think this is going to be. Nothing against Bayley. That's just what this will be, I think.
Part of me thinks that Bayley's going to lose this. I don't know why. Like, I feel like if they were setting her up for a victory, they would have told a different story. Like the whole storyline, like you said, is just, oh, who has my back? Oh, I'm outnumbered. Oh, like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, oh, okay, then she wins, and she was outnumbered the whole time. That was the whole storyline. Oh, I won. Oh, I overcame the odds on my own, pal. I'm Cena in 2014. Like, I don't know. I feel like they would have told more of like an underdog story or gotten more personal with Bayley. It's kind of been surface level, from what I've seen at least of the build up. I don't know. I thought this would be a bigger match than what it has turned out to be. Like after Bayley won the Royal Rumble, I was there in the building, everybody going crazy. I thought this would have been treated as a building block for night 2. It's just kind of been, I don't want to say afterthought, but like LA Knight and AJ Styles has a better build than this match.
Yep.
Logan Paul, Orton, and Kevin Owens, you could argue, has a better build than this match. And the build has been fine. Like, it's good content. We love it. It's good stuff, I just could see, like, okay, Damage Control, they're going to get beat up by Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and all them. So they're going to lose on both nights. They're going to get embarrassed. Then what's the point of them being a faction at that point?
Yeah.
So part of me thinks Bayley might lose this, and we may not get that moment in that star-making moment for Bayley that a lot of people thought was coming. It doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel like it. I have that feeling like we could just get like Io Sky wins and okay, on to the next opponent. And Charlotte Flair's here, pal. Sorry, let me say this. Charlotte Flair returns. Oh, she's gonna help Bayley. Never mind. Nope, not helping Bayley. I don't know. Who knows?
Honestly, and would it be fair to say, and this may turn out to age poorly in 2 days' time? I don't know. I'll happily say it. Was Bayley's big moment the Royal Rumble win?
Could be. It could very well be.
Maybe they've gone, we need to give Bayley a moment. Like, give her, like a big, like, this is your moment, Bayley. Like, when she won the Rumble, you were there. You got, like, all, like, the best female stars sitting at ringside looking up at Bayley. Like, Bayley, that was her moment. And now she gets this WrestleMania spot, a big WrestleMania match for singles one-on-one for the title. But does she win? I know, like, obviously, you've talked me around to this. My opinion sort of flipped on this last, like, 2 minutes because of what you're saying. And it makes full sense. I didn't really probably think about it until we're talking about this now. Obviously, it makes sense. Go get 20-minute match, 4 stars, Bayley wins, cool. But the reality, I mean, Io Sky is one of Triple H's favorites, just generally. Like, having Io Sky have a big WrestleMania win. Last year, Io Sky didn't win a WrestleMania. Becky Lynch beat her in, like, that Damage Control 6-woman tag match. So, does Io Sky win? And then, like, obviously, the Black Power women team beat Damage Control on night 1. And as we say, that Damage Control get embarrassed. Dakota Kai gets pinned. They scurry off. The heels get defeated. And then you get to night 2, and Io Sky does it for the team and defeats the gallant Bayley, who goes out crying, hugging Io Sky, raising Io Sky's hand. Io, I love you. And then, it's Charlotte, John! Don't die!
Oh my god!
It's the helicopter. Okay, can you imagine that? You got, like, all these 80,000 people in the stadium. They're waiting for Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Can we get to it? Can we get to it? Then they finish this 25-minute match with Bayley. Oh my God, what is that? Like everyone's looking up. It's a helicopter. It's coming down. Like what the hell is that? Like the helicopter makes its way down. There's a helipad on the WrestleMania stage, pal. Charlotte gets out with Ric Flair. Woo! Strutting down the aisleway, pal. She gets in the ring. Paul Levesque gave me the contract. I'm Mrs. Money in the Bank now, bitch. And then proceeds to just cash in a contract. Curb stomp, pal. 1, 2, 3. Charlotte wins the women's title, pal. Shimmying with Ric Flair. 17 time, baby. Woo! Is that what's gonna happen, pal?
Oh, I just had a nightmare listening to you describe that. I'm just gonna let that sit.
Just move on. Just move on.
All right, so I want to talk Seth freaking Rollins, pal, or as Jim Cornette calls him, Seth Franklin Rollins, versus Drew McIntyre. I mean, the easy call is Drew wins, right? That's the easy call. Rollins gets embarrassed. You know, he gets like speared and rock bottomed and people's elbow and stunned and everything, and he loses, and he's just beating himself up. You know, we get a pre-match promo. He's like, I let Cody down. I got to come out and win. And then McIntyre just beats him, talks to CM Punk on the camera, like, yeah, I took your moment, Phil. This was your spot. You were Triple H wrote your name on the piece of paper. You were supposed to beat Seth Rollins. I did it. I main evented WrestleMania again, something you have yet to do. I did it in front of fans, and I mean that's it. Then maybe Punk comes out, maybe not. We get a stare down, maybe not. Yeah. The next night on Raw, McIntyre will be talking smack, cutting a 25-minute promo with his championship, talking directly to Philip Jack Brooks and his physical therapist, and that seems like the easy call. We could add some color to it, but that just seems like what's going to happen here.
Well, CM Punk's just like The Rock now, in the sense that you can't trust him physically in the ring. We don't know what he can physically do in the ring anymore. But when he's involved in something, God, it's interesting. God, it's compelling. Like that segment on Raw in Chicago was phenomenal. That was amazing. That was so good. The whole crowd was into everything. The segment flowed really well. Punk was incredible. He made Rollins, he hyped Rollins and Drew up while also cutting them down at the same time. Like, as you should, as like a wrestling, like cutting a promo. I can't wait for Punk's commentary. The match will be the match. I'm sure the match will be fun. We've seen Rollins versus McIntyre. We saw that in Saudi. No, was it Saudi? Oh no, we've seen that sometime last year.
I think it was Saudi, yeah.
Yeah, we've seen that before, like twice. Obviously, we saw that in 2020 during the cough era, where WWE were getting in trouble by the government for not having people wear masks. And then again, they weren't apparently. And there was the whole drama with that. Anyway, Rollins versus McIntyre, pal. That happened then. It happened in Saudi. Now it's happening again. So the match isn't like a fresh matchup. Drew's obviously the hottest he's been in any stage in his career. He must win this match. There isn't another option. Rollins has held this title for a year. If Rollins doesn't lose the title now to Drew, the only other option is Rollins wins, comes out on Raw the next night, and The Rock goes, I'm your boss. That title's mine now. I'm physically, you are stripped of that title as per contract. They can do a segment. He brings out Brian Gerwitz, the writer, and goes, yep, Brian's writing your name right now. Seth Rollins stripped of World Heavyweight Championship. Give that belt to me, little boy, little clown. Right now, give that to me. Go march your ass back to Iowa. Don't care. See ya, Rollins. Like, unless they do that, but that's the only way Rollins wins, pal. McIntyre has to win. And then they can do segments where Drew McIntyre's cutting shoot promos on Punk's physical therapist, all this business, you know?
Yes. All right. Well, while we're here, let's talk about CM Punk.
Yeah.
Let's get that corner in for a moment. So CM Punk did an interview on the MMA Hour on Ariel Helwani's show. Mm-hmm. Man, that interview shook up the wrestling world, as it does, as Punk does whenever he picks up a microphone and lets us in behind the scenes. And he probably told us maybe 60% of what he legally can talk about. Yep. Maybe even less than that. And what he gave us was still remarkable. I didn't think he would give us that much. I thought the podcast would be, hey, WrestleMania's in Philadelphia. I'm doing commentary. Drew McIntyre is a bully. Seth Rollins is an idiot. I'm here. But instead, he's talking about Jack Perry. He's talking about the Young Bucks. He's talking Tony Khan directly. Like, what was his quote? Tony Khan, he's a nice guy, but not a good businessman, not a good boss, not a good leader. All things that people have been saying. Punk confirmed. Okay, so essentially, CM Punk goes on this tirade, and he upsets the AEW crowd. So he talks about basically like how he wasn't what the reports were, like that Punk was running around like the boss, like, oh, Jack Perry can't do this, oh, this guy's not allowed, Hangman Page is not allowed in my building for my show. Punk was like, I don't want to come back to AEW after All Out. Like, I can't do this. These people can't manage the target. Let me leave. And Tony Khan's like, no, stay. I'll make you your own show, and you could be in charge. Punk's like, I don't want to be in charge. I'm a wrestler. I'm a talent. I'm not an executive. You be in charge. And Tony's like, I don't know what to do. So yeah, then we get Collision, and Punk's like in charge, whatever. So Jack Perry wants to use a legitimate rental car on the show, a legitimate like real life rental car. And break this rental car, and somebody, I forgot who it was, but somebody, a big wig, is like, hey, you can't do that, like there's sponsorships on the line, like if we destroy a rental car and God forbid you get hurt, this like what rental car company is gonna let wrestlers rent rental cars after this? Like, this is real life, you know, this is not your dad's backyard, you know, in Beverly Hills, like, you know, you're in reality, bro. And then he's like, Jack Perry's cursing him out, like, I'm friends with the Young Bucks, you can't tell me what to do.
Oh my!
And then Tony Schiavone's like, hey, you can't do that, bro. And he's like, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a legend, I hate you, blah blah blah. So then they're like, hey, Punk, can you straighten this guy up? And he's like, no, F you, Punk. So then CM Punk tells all this, just tells his side of the story. And then that was what, on Sunday, Monday, whatever. 2 days later on Dynamite, we get this rah-rah promo from Adam Copeland. I'm thinking how I want to phrase this. So Adam Copeland, the guy that literally made his name off of being a spoke on the WWE wheel, is the guy that's talking to an AEW crowd, talking about, this is pro wrestling, we are AEW, we're anti-WWE. Like, the guy owes his entire career to WWE and the machine, and he's the one doing this promo. And like Punk said, this is Punk's words from his appearance with Ariel Helwani. Doing a show with your friends in front of an empty arena that's a quarter full, just to entertain yourself and your buddies, is not business. And that's Edge is talking to Adam Copeland's talking to a crowd that's a quarter full. And I mean, that's got it. Like, I'd love to have a conversation with Adam Copeland without any cameras, and I would love to ask him what he thinks about this. Like, I know on camera, if I was a journalist and I asked him this, he's going to defend his decision. He's going to defend going to AEW. But I'd love to know what the person thinks about this. Like, you're performing in front of 2,000 people, bro. Your legacy is being made a mockery. Casual fans, everyday people that don't know anything about wrestling, that remember Edge from 2006, are like, why is this guy talking to 2,000 people in an empty basketball arena? It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, there's no other way to spin it. Anybody that has, like, that's in tune with, like, social cues and lives a standard average life can see through this. It's only the people that WWE doesn't want watching them anymore, that were like ruining wrestling with like the Roman Reigns stuff and the Daniel Bryan stuff in 14-15. Those are the only people that are like incels and not all there and whatnot, that are like that like this. And it's embarrassing that Edge, this is a legend, a Hall of Famer. This is a guy that, I mean, everybody knows Edge. Like, Edge is one of the biggest household names in the history of pro wrestling. Yeah, he's become Tony Khan's like
puppet, whipping boy.
Yeah, errand boy. Like, go out there and cut an anti-WWE promo. Like, go ahead.
And Kevin, I'm not going to say anything more on Adam Copeland. One little thing before we move on to the main event. I am so sick. The promo in wrestling, it used to be the I deserve better promo, or like the I need a chance promo. That was bad for like 5 years. Ziggler was a big part. Every guy did it.
And before that, it was the anti-Cena promo.
Yep, it was the anti-Cena promo. Then it was the I deserve better promo. I've worked my ass off. I deserve better. Whatever. Now it's the I love wrestling. We should all be appreciative of wrestling. Wrestling's amazing. I'm sick of that promo. Give it, just do wrestling. Don't be like, see, we should all be grateful. Enjoy this. Cheer us. I'm sick of that promo. Well, the promo Adam Copeland cut, which almost like tries to guilt trip the fan in saying, if you boo this, you don't actually like wrestling. You have to cheer me because I'm saying you got to love wrestling. I love wrestling. I'm sick of that promo. Can we just cut that out of wrestling, period? Can we just actually do wrestling, do storylines that mean something in front of arenas of jam-packed people who are into it? Can we just do that? WWE aren't having every once a week a wrestler saying, yeah, well, what's going on, but I love wrestling. Wrestling, we're all here because we love wrestling. I get that's AEW's bit, sure. But I'm so sick of it. I'm sick of that specific promo. That's to me at the same point as the I deserve better promo. I'm over it. I don't need to hear another wrestler. I don't need to hear Eddie Kingston again. I don't need to hear the Young Bucks in a nonchalant heel way. I don't need to hear Adam Copeland. I don't need to hear Daniel Bryan. I don't need to hear John Moxley. I need to hear some 27-year-old indie wrestler say, oh, I love professional wrestling. We know you do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be doing it. We know that. We know wrestling's amazing. We love wrestling. Give us wrestling. Do something. Cut a promo on someone. Do a storyline. Do an angle with glass that's not real. Don't use a rental car. Like, whatever.
Yeah, I just want to say this before we move on. I want to talk about two other things with AEW.
Mm-hmm.
Their Mercedes Moné experience. Not working.
Already? You're putting a line through it already?
Yeah. Crossed out. Yeah. Yeah. The CEO thing is cringy. Like, that's super cringe. She lost her aura. Her aura's gone. It's gone. I'm sorry. I hate to anybody that loves AEW loves Mercedes Moné. If I show Mercedes Moné to an average person that knows nothing about wrestling, they're gonna be like, okay, cool, next.
Yeah.
Like it's just reality. What was the other thing I was gonna say? Oh, the Young Bucks. The Young Bucks come out and they're making fun of CM Punk, crying. Oh, they're shouting out Jack Perry, the scapegoat. Embarrassing. It's embarrassing. They're a shoo-in for the Elite Heat Awards for the 2024 Clowns of the Year. We're
back to back, baby.
Pal, that's gonna be called the Young Bucks Award. Like how Dave Meltzer has like the Danielson Award for the best technical wrestler. The Clowns of the Year, that's gonna be the Young Bucks Award. That's just embarrassing, bro. Like, and the fact that Tony Khan does not see through this. Like, if those guys, the Young Bucks, are still in power at AEW, that's just embarrassing. That's embarrassing. At this point, like it was embarrassing after All Out, after they punched an employee and a dog, and with a woman in the room, a woman in a cast. CM Punk's best friend's wife is there. That, I mean, if they were still writing checks and calling shots after that, that's embarrassing. At this point in 2024, it's beyond embarrassing. I don't know what the word is, but if they're still in power, it's just there's no word to put it. How bad it is.
It's beyond comprehension how reprehensibly disgusting that is, if that's the case.
Yeah.
That's the big word sounding way of saying it. With that being said, pal, let's talk about something that's more interesting than the Young Bucks ever will be, pal. The WrestleMania 40 main event.
Oh, we're here.
Pal, we've had about, and really this is a year and a half of build to this moment.
Yes.
When you think about the Cody Roman, the one-on-one match. As we've discussed a lot of the stuff at the build generally, so we're just going to also talk about night 2 now and what that'll look like. We don't know specifically, will it be Bloodline rules? Will it not? It will be Bloodline rules. There's no way they do this match just clean as day. Look, Cody's wrestling Roman. That was last year. This year is going to be BS-filled, shenanigans. It's going to be just a mess. And that way, when they have their third match, whenever that is, it can be in Hell in a Cell with no BS. Nonetheless, I honestly don't know what to expect from this match. What I do know is this. If the ending of this show isn't Cody winning, confetti, Stone Cold and Cena cheering Cody, he's holding the title, he's crying, he's got blood pouring down his face, Michael Cole, McAfee is screaming, your Pharaoh, Brandy are clapping, crying. Kevin, I don't care how many people from the island of Samoa, I don't care whether it's Arthur, Seeker, Arthur's dog, Rock's second nephew's cousin's brother. I don't care who we get here. I don't care how much BS. I don't care if Paul Levesque marches down with the headset and throws it to try and make it look real that The Rock's gone off script somehow. I don't care if you have Brian Gowitz out there, Nick Khan stands up from his third row seat as the president to point at someone. I don't know. Kevin, this is going to be a chaotic hour. The Roman entrance is going to take 10 minutes. You're going to have Michael Cole screaming 1,311 days, or I think that's the number. It's going to be a lot. All I know is this. Cody Rhodes wins this match. And if Cody Rhodes doesn't win this match, WWE, you are effed for the rest of this year period. You'll have Roman Reigns not appearing as Vince McMahon legal allegations are slamming you in the face. You will have nothing. WWE, you will be empty if you have Roman Reigns win 2 years in a row, 2 matches he shouldn't win against the face of the company. This is Cody's coronation. This is Cody's moment. The same way it was Bret Hart WrestleMania 10. The same way the WrestleMania 21 ended. Forget the circumstances with WrestleMania 20. The same way WrestleMania 30 ended, albeit that was a 5'6" guy who was injury riddled, who couldn't last as a main event guy. Cody at WrestleMania 40 can. This is his moment. Kevin, talk to us.
Gotta let out another big sigh. Yeah, I have no idea what this is gonna be. I just feel like there's gonna be so much extracurricular activity and shenanigans that nobody, like, not to say nobody's gonna care, but it's gonna minimize Cody winning, and it's not really gonna be about him at the end of the day. Whatever happens here, whether Stone Cold and Cena come out, like, people are gonna be like talking about that, or The Rock turns on Roman, people are gonna be talking about that, and Cody's just gonna be like, "Hey, got my championship, guys." The way this is playing out, I hate to say it, but I think there's a real possibility that Roman wins this.
No, I do not accept that as a thought. I don't accept that as a thought.
Hey, I think it's 50-50 right now. Realistically, to be blunt, I think it's 50-50. I'm kind of leaning 60-40 towards Roman, actually. Like, I think if I was putting money on this, I think I would bet on Roman Reigns. If I was gonna put a wager on this match. I just Cody.
This is like Jokic with the MVPs. This is beyond a joke.
Hold on.
He clearly doesn't deserve it.
Hold on. Let me finish this point. So I think Cody's hit a point where he doesn't need the championship. You know, like that is that's look. I know you don't like it, but we're at a, like, he's like Shawn Michaels in 07. Like, Cody could do no wrong right now. Cody can do anything and people are gonna love it. You know, he doesn't really need the championship. Now, would I like to see him win it? Yeah. Do I want to see a change of scenery? Yes. Do I want to see Cody win, have a new design, and we get like all these great matches, Cody Gunther and Cody and Rollins again, and whatever, Cody and Punk, whatever they want to do after Cody wins the championship? Like, I'm all for it. I don't know if I could see a world where we've got all this interference and all this stuff, and it's just like, oh, Cody's here, Cody won, is in the background, and like the camera's focused on Rock, who just punched Roman in the face. I don't know, like, that just doesn't make a lot of sense to me, you know. I mean, The Rock, you know, he's in the long-term storytelling, the long-term game, pal. Like, does The Rock help Roman win if it goes bloodline rules? And then after Roman wins, then Rock turns on him. It's like, I'm taking that championship. I'm taking the tribal chief spot. I'm the real leader of this family.
Long-term booking in wrestling is a great way to justify poor short-term decisions. What's the long-term? It's the big picture, pal. We're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. Long-term, stay with it. At some stage, you need to identify the now. And that's been the thing for the last year. I've been big on it. The fan base has been crying, particularly the last 6 months. For the first few months after WrestleMania 39, more people were like, yeah, look, see where it goes. Like, Cody, yeah, come on. Like, give it time. Roman didn't show up. And it's like, okay, this is ridiculous. You're at the Royal Rumble. Like, bro, huh? Like, hey, Roman comes out, 1,300, whatever days. Oh, he's getting near Hogan. No one cares. Roman wins. He overtakes Hogan. And what does that do for anyone? Oh, he's going to get to Bruno. The title doesn't mean anything if Roman just holds it. The title now is just a prop Roman holds. The title doesn't mean as much now because Roman's held it that long. The title's going down in value. It's like a stock. Like, the stock, when Roman won it, it like shot up. It was like, oh my God, the Universal Undisputed Big Gold Belt Hot Mustard Championship. It's up here. It's 2021, Kevin. 2022, Roman's the biggest thing in the company. The second biggest stars like Drew McIntyre is down here. Then you've got like Rollins, and everything was so far. And then Cody burst on the scene, and it's 2023, and it was like that. It was like that when they met at WrestleMania. Roman was probably just above still last year.
Yeah.
Cody was here. I get it. In hindsight, fair, okay, whatever. Now, this is where Roman is. This is where Cody is. And The Rock, it's subjective. It depends who you ask. I don't know where you'd put Rock in this whole thing. But Cody's objectively just better,
The Rock is
more
up there.
relevant, more interesting. Yeah. Rock's more up like where Cody is,
Yeah.
about there. Roman's just like here, and Rollins is just like, I can't put him low enough. Seth Rollins. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And for WWE to look that in the eyes at the biggest WrestleMania ever and go, yeah, has Roman held the title for 4 years? Yeah. Is everyone crying out for a change? Yeah. Do we listen to our audience? Well, generally, but F that. Paul Heyman says we're bottom of the 6th inning in a creative meeting.
Right.
Roman wins.
Right. Yeah.
It would be counterproductive to everything they're trying to do. It would be the biggest. We talked about it last year with political chess. I think last year was a political chess move. In hindsight, fair. If Roman Reigns walks out of WrestleMania 40 as the Universal Champion still, that is the greatest political chess move this business has ever seen. What's a bigger political chess move than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson 2 days after Cody wins the Royal Rumble, inserting himself because of TKO board power into the WrestleMania main event and knocking Cody out of the picture altogether? Or so he thought. Roman Reigns loses this match. There is no
let me just say this too. This point, this has to be brought up too. When it comes to baby faces, the money is in the chase, you know.
And the chase is over. It's been a year and a half.
Yeah, the money is in the chase. Most people want to see Cody win.
Yeah.
Here we are. Cody's winning. Cody wins. Cody wins. Cody wins. Yeah. That's the peak. Then we go down from there. Whereas if Cody, let's say they do it right, and Cody loses, and it makes sense. Cody could stay up here, stagnate up top instead of going down. Realistically, I mean, you know this is, you can't deny this. As much as you love Cody and you want to see Cody win, part of your desire to see Cody win is part of you not wanting to see Roman lose, right? So it's kind of like the Floyd Mayweather effect, the LeBron effect. People want to see something else. They don't want to see LeBron and Curry again in the finals. They want to see Floyd lose, Mm-hmm. That's part of it. Like, and then hold on. And when Cody wins, let's assume he does. When Cody wins, in 5 months' time, the same, like, not saying you specifically, but a lot of people that were clamoring for Roman to lose and for Cody to win, then the talk is going to come out like, oh, Cody, remember this guy was Stardust. Remember that. This guy was a perennial undercarder. He never worked. He couldn't do it. That talk's going to come. And then what? Like, I mean, we're past the point. Like, you and I were making fun of, like, last year. Oh, Cody wins, then he's crying, talking to Ricochet. Like, we're not gonna get that. Cody's not doing that. It's clear as day. Cody's not doing that anymore. That kind of stuff anymore. Yeah. If Cody does win, we're gonna get good quality stuff. But I feel like we're gonna get to a point where the fan base is gonna turn on him, and it's gonna be like Cena all over again. Like, I mean, people don't like the stuff. Like right now, it's cool because it's a chase, and he does the tweets, and he's like, "I'll give your son tickets." When he's on TV after being champion for a year, giving people tickets and like all that, people are gonna turn on it, just like they did Cena.
Kevin, WrestleMania 14.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin had won 2 Royal Rumbles. He hadn't been coronated yet as champion. Mm-hmm. There was money in the chase.
Yes.
You brought in one of the biggest stars in the world at the time was Mike Tyson. And you had a heel champion who had been around the mark. He'd been the champion or in the main event for years. That was Shawn Michaels. You had a pivotal moment in the company's history.
Right.
You could have kept with the chase, pal. Mike Tyson could have just KO'd Stone Cold. Shawn wins. Keep the chase going. Maybe the crowd will turn on Austin. You could have done that. That is what you're saying here. Or you got Cody, 2 Royal Rumbles. You bring the biggest star in the world in, Rock, one of them. You got the heel champion who people aren't like over. They're just like, he's got the belt. It's just this is like a moment in wrestling history which just has to go through. If WrestleMania 14 ended, as I said, with Shawn Michaels just walking out, Paul Levesque in 1998, it's like raising his arm, we won again. What would that have done for anyone? Oh, but the chase, there's more money in the chase. Okay, there's money in the chase. There's going to be a lot of money in Cody as champion. He's not going to be cutting promos, crying, saying, QT Marshall stole my wrestling academy. Like, we've been over that. That was a year ago. We put that to bed. This is a moment that needs to go through. So I understand. I get where you're coming from. I understand. I get the reasons for concern and the money in the chase and stay with what you know and all that. It can't go on. There are these moments in wrestling history. These champions need to be coronated. This is WrestleMania 14. Sunday night is WrestleMania 14. And if they don't go through with that the way it should, if they F it up and we've got months and months of Roman Reigns sitting at home not doing anything with the title, Rock's off TV filming a movie, Rollins is made to be even bigger a clown as he is, Cody's just there every week because he's Cody Powell, CM Punk's not wrestling because he's injured, and Vince McMahon lawsuits are all over WWE and destroying the wrestling world, you've laid your bed and you have to sleep in it. Cody must win the championship.
So I just want to poke a hole in the Austin comparison. Austin was technically a heel, that people liked. Like Cody, he's kind of doing a Cena impression in a lot of aspects. He's got a lot of John Cena in him, and he does it better than Cena. You could argue that if you want to argue that. Yeah, Cody's a better white meat babyface. It is different booking. It's a different people are in charge. But I just want to make that point.
Yeah, fair.
And
I was going to say about look. Regardless, I mean, we'll debate it either way. This is like one of the pivotal moments in wrestling history. Sunday night, what they do. Yeah. This is one of the biggest match. This is in many regards probably the biggest match of the last 15 years. But, this is whether you officially crown the guy, the one who everyone says who'll be the next Roman Reigns, who'll be the next guy who you look back on for this era of wrestling. Do you officially make that guy? Or do you say Roman Reigns in his 8 WrestleMania main events and like him being as the most forced main event in wrestling history, the guy who there's been the least natural push for Roman event, is that guy just getting another win? Is another WrestleMania like a 5th or 6th one ending with him just holding the title?
Well, let me make this point because it kind of hits on what you're saying. Yeah. I like it is pivotal, and I think WWE is in a lose-lose situation here. If you have Cody win, that what I'm saying is inevitable. Whether it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, people are going to turn on Cody. If he's just champion, like how if he does like what Cena did, basically, 06, 07, 08, people are going to turn on him. And if Roman wins, then Cody wins. Then you have the people that are like super bloodline stands, Roman stands that are gonna be like, hey, I don't really want to watch wrestling anymore. Roman's not champion. Like I'm not into it. Those people do exist. And then you have
those people getting the Rock versus Roman Reigns. I think that'll be more than okay.
Yeah, and then you have like, I don't know. It's just then Roman like. Then in 5 years, people are gonna be like, "Wait, we didn't appreciate Roman enough. Should he have been champion longer? Like, should he have, It's just a messy situation, and
it's not. It's not messy.
It is.
Cody wins the title and has his moment with Austin and Cena and confetti. This isn't hard.
The situation resembles the booking leading up to this. The booking's been a mess. The situation is a mess. Like, but no matter what they do, people are gonna be mad. Is my point. What I'm saying. A portion of people are gonna be mad. If The Rock does nothing, and The Rock just like helps Cody win and hugs Cody, people will be happy, but some people will be mad. Some people will be like, "Oh, I don't want to see this. Like this took away from Cody's moment." They booked themselves into a lose-lose situation here.
Yeah,
I think that the best thing to do would have just been have Cody just win, and that's it. Like no shenanigans, no bullshit. Just have Cody win. Yeah, go ahead.
Look, is what it is. We could argue about this till I'm blue in the face. I think I made my point clear. You made your point very clear. You think it's 60-40 Roman. I think it has to be 100% Cody wins. There's no option of Roman winning. So how this plays out is going to be fascinating. We will be there to cover it. Not in Philadelphia, but we will be here on our show to cover it. There you have it. My hype overall, just to wrap it up in a nice bow here. My hype's about a 7.5 and 8. I just can't see what they do. This is a pivotal show in wrestling history. This is one of those shows, the decisions Paul Levesque makes with his pen on this show, whether he gets influenced by Paul Heyman and the Samoans and the TKO board, whether he holds firm. I think the whole point when Triple H cut the promo on SmackDown 2 months ago and said, I'm the one in charge here, I make the decisions, I think that lends itself to say Triple H writes Cody's name on a piece of paper, and The Rock and Brian Gewirtz tried to change that, and Triple H is like, F off. Cody's winning. We're sticking with the plan, and then we'll see what happens. That's what I think. We'll see what goes down, pal. That's me. Final closing thoughts.
Yeah, I mean the ending could go a million different ways.
Mm-hmm.
Anything could happen. Nothing would surprise me. If The Rock walked out with the Universal Championship, that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Nothing at this point. If Damian Priest came out and cashed in, that wouldn't surprise me.
If Jon Moxley ran out and we got a Shield reunion, I wouldn't even be surprised.
Yeah, nothing would surprise me at this point. Like I don't think it's as black and white as Cody's gonna win. Like I don't know. I mean, they could get there, and we could get like a Daniel Bryan moment. But yeah, overall, WrestleMania is gonna be. I think it's gonna be a great show in the moment. You know, it's gonna be really fun. All the matches. I mean, this is like top to bottom. This is a loaded card from an in-ring standpoint. Like, there's not a lot of matches here that could be disappointing. A lot of star power. Absolutely. I can't wait to watch it all.
That's gonna be awesome. And yeah, we'll be here to cover it. We're back, pal, officially.
Yes,
love to say it.
We're back.
Easy.
Peace.
Peace.
Oh man.